I should do some kind of like, hey, this is Joe at Outdoorsman's. But this is Joe at Outdoorsman's. If you can see me between the two binos. It's like our own version of Between Two Ferns. Between two tripods. So I'm out here. This little trail close to the office. I've got the EL Range 12x42s that I'm mainly doing a review on. I did not want to really compare the two. I've got the NL12s right here as well, but I did want to get a little bit of a baseline so we had some kind of numbers to go off of. So far, I've been out here since before the sun came up, or about 20 minutes, I guess, now. I'm really impressed with the low light performance out of these. I was a little concerned, being that they have to use different lens coatings to run the laser through those lenses. I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to get great low light performance, but I was glassing during gray light and picked up a bunch of cows, which, you know, they're easy to spot, but I feel like if I had some deer out here, I would have been able to see it. Yeah. So far, they're looking pretty good. I would not be upset in the slightest if you handed me these and told me to go find some deers. I've never been a big range-finding binocular guy. I like having, you know, the premium glass and then a good working handheld rangefinder, but these 12x42s might change my mind a little bit. I'm not seeing anything that would stop me from using these almost exclusively. The only drawback I'm seeing right now is some slight fuzz at the edge of the frame, but it's not impeding my view. Like if there was a deer in the bottom, in the fuzz on the bottom of my frame, I could definitely still pick up an ear flick. And it doesn't feel like my eyes are bouncing back and forth between focus and not focus either. Oh shit, got a deer. 849 yards, 75 clicks. Mule deer, doe. Hopefully they move before we start shooting. There's another one. That might be a little buck. Yep. Right off the bat here in the morning, got a couple of deer. Doe and a buck. About 850 yards out. Easily spotted with the EL Range 12s. This buck, I can't quite tell what he is, but I can tell that he's not huge. Let's see what he looks like in the NL12s. See if there's a difference. I probably should have figured out where they were before I did that. That buck stepped over the backside of the ridge he was on, which is a bummer. It is really nice having the rangefinder right there, though. Coming from a guy who doesn't really like having range-finding binos, I'm finding the point of them to be pretty convenient. Yeah, definitely a little dimmer than the NL12s. Field of view is a little tighter. Edge to edge isn't quite as good, but I've got that little doe. If I had a rifle tag and if she was a buck, she'd be at, she moved down a little bit. She's now at 804, which is about as far as my little 6.5 can go. It's about 70 clicks. That's not bad. That's quick, fast target acquisition. Rangefinder works well. Ballistics seem to be on point. I mean, yeah, so biggest things that I've noticed this morning so far are these are a little bit dimmer than the NL12s, which makes sense because of what they did with those. And having, like I said earlier, you have to run different lens coatings on these so that you can run the laser through the barrel of the binoculars, and you won't get a lot of reflection or refraction, let that laser bounce around all over the place. So they got to do them a little bit differently. But still, like, it's sun hasn't even peaked over that ridge. It's 7:30, and I spotted 2 deer right off the bat. Low light, easy. There was really no difference in like effectiveness between the two. I wish I would have been able to see that little buck, because I think the increased contrast, I would have maybe been able to see a little bit more out of his antlers with those. But even still with these, I knew he wasn't anything that I was looking for if I were to be hunting right now. I really do like having these things on a tripod. You spot a deer, bull, whatever, and instantly get a yardage and your ballistic calculations. Like if I was, ready to go and actually hunting, it would have been really easy to get down in a prone and maybe make a shot. 850 is a little bit far for my taste, but for the sake of argument. Otherwise, we'll keep glassing and see what else I can see. It's also like in the low 30s this morning, which is pretty cold for Arizona. But so far I haven't had any issues with the battery. This thing is running fine. I just got 1,400 yards really easily. The laser's fast. It seems accurate. I guess I could check it against a known accurate rangefinder. But even in the cold, it's still working pretty good. Now, granted, I'm not pushing this thing out to like single digits or negative, below 0 temps. We don't really have to here, but at least general fall hunting, this thing's going to take care of itself. All right, guys, something that I forgot to touch on in the field this morning is that Swarovski has upgraded their app that they use for all their Bluetooth enabled optics. So that's the EL Range 42s, the EL Range 32s, as well as the DS rifle scope. It is now called the Swarovski Hunting app, available in all the app store places where you buy apps. So it's got a little deer on the front, so it's easy to find. Swarovski Hunting. It's going to ask me to pair the binoculars when you first open it up. To pair, what you're going to do is hold the range button and the menu button at the same time. I think it's like 3 to 5 seconds, but this little light right here will turn blue. Try to do it so you guys can see it there. Yep, there we go. So now it starts blinking. And then on my phone, it should show that I am connected, which I am. It's really simple to enter in a ballistic profile. I already have my 6.5 in here because we were shooting it this morning. But basically, you click, what's that called? Ballistic settings. You click either empty slot or one that you have active already. You can edit the profile, change the name, change the rifle scope you're using, add in your ammunition and all of the data that comes with it. So in this case, I'm shooting Hornady ELDX, 143 grain. I got the muzzle velocity, the G7, BC, all that kind of stuff. Then you enter in your zeroing parameters. So my sight height above bore. It's basically the measurement between the center of bore and the center of your scope tube. And then your zero range, and then any environmental conditions that you want to throw in there. You can, typically I just do 59 degrees and 0 feet sea level. And then I let these things take care of the rest because they're going to take in your atmospherics. Once you get done with all of that, you just hit apply the changes, and then you go to transfer, and then it's going to ask you if you want to push the settings from your phone to your optic or pull settings from your optic to your phone, because you can make changes on the optic itself. I did all the changes on my phone, so I'm going to push. I hit that, and settings were successfully transferred, and now we are all done. The next thing you would do is hold those two buttons again until the light turns off, disconnect, and then now this is ready to go. I'm able to go outside, I can get a range, and it'll tell me all my ballistic solutions there. It's super easy to use, way better than the original app, better than some of the other brands apps that I've used out there. There are a few that are confusing. This one is not, and I am starting to reach that age where technology is a little tough for me. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Should not be a problem. If you have any questions or if you need anything, you know where we are, outdoorsmans.com, or find us on the phone, call us on the phone. You can find us there too, I guess, at 1-800-291-8065. Thanks, guys.